morning. Welcome to the Solution Finders. Today I am here with Lorna Poole. She is a wealth mentor and she helps women create financial freedom. Hi, Lorna.
Hi, thank you. Great to be here. Thanks for inviting me here.
What is financial freedom for you?
Oh, I love that question because I think that's one of the most important things. I think the word's thrown around a lot and people are confused. Well, what is financial freedom? So I love T. Harv Eker's quote on what financial freedom is. I think it's a really good way to describe what financial freedom. It's the ability to live the lifestyle you desire without having to work or rely on anyone else for money. I think that is so beautiful and crystal clear, not having to rely on others and not have to work for money. True freedom.
Yes. That can be you do what you want and
When you want, with who you want. Yeah. I love that quote as well. That's a really good one. Yeah. To
yeah.
me, that's freedom.
And you work mainly with women. That's really that aspect of independence when
Yes, because
especially fast. There's there was dependence.
yes, because how I got into this work is a lot from how I grew up, very typical of that generation where my parents were the generation where the woman was the housewife and the man was the breadwinner. And my dad growing up used to always say to us, secure our future, pay your bills on time and all that. But he stressed a lot about money. He had a lot of fear around money. And he actually passed away in 2014. He was 69 years of age. And we always thought as kids growing up that he had everything sorted. And when he passed away, there was actually nothing in place for my mum. And she was kind of left like couldn't pay the mortgage, everything, like nothing in place. And only for sadly but fortunately an uncle passed 2 months later and she got sorted by accident, right? And what I realized on the back of that, Una, was how many women um just don't have themselves very well set up, or that they don't dream that they can actually have financial freedom because they're starting businesses, they're working out their income, they're established and they're not paying themselves first. They're the single mom at school with two kids and they've gone through a divorce, or um like I did. I was a strong independent woman and then I have my family and now I'm on a part-time job and life's not set up for us. So I really like it really catapulted me into I get to help people in this area of their lives, and really from my own journey as well, because I grew up the way I did where my father was a very strong person and my mom was kind of dependent on him for money, for everything. I was determined not to live that way myself. I was determined to figure out how to increase my income, how to manage my money, how to set myself up security future and live a life I love now. I was always very driven by freedom. So before my coaching life, I worked with horses, and when I worked with horses, I traveled the world. I went to Australia and America and Canada and New Zealand, and I would travel and I would stop working and then I would go do what I want for 6 months or whatever. And then I know when I traveled, it was that time when money, every time you went to a different job, they increased your income. So you would like work for 6 months and then I would go do what I want and then I'd work and then I'd get up the money to travel again. And, I've always lived how I wanted to live. I'm very driven by freedom. So driven by freedom that I build a business around it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And yeah, so you found like there was a lack of education on all these things, like how to manage your money, how to increase your money.
A lot of it's belief.
Okay.
Belief. A lot of women don't believe in great financial freedom. Also, it's sold increasing your income is financial freedom. It is not. If you stop working, there's no money coming in. Financial freedom is having your money work without you. So you got to be focused on, I always say, pay your assets first. Everybody's heard the terminology, pay yourself first, right? But we're not always doing it. Um, and you can go deeper with that, paying yourself first in terms of time, money, and energy. But I coin it as pay your assets first. Like it's gotta be putting your money to work. You are not going to hit financial freedom unless the money's working. Bottom line. I love to bottom line everything. Black and white. Here you go. So yeah.
Is that something like investments, estate, something like that?
Yeah, it's investments, but it's understanding how to invest, what to invest in, how to set yourself up correctly. Like there's a lot of noise out there, but most people don't know, well, how do I do this in a way that sustains me? How do I do it? Markets go up and down, wars happen, inflation, crashes, depressions, all the things. So how do I invest in a way that sets me up securely for the future? So it's knowing, um, like one of the big things is having a robust portfolio that like you have all the elements in there that are going to support you. So if like property goes down, your stocks and shares are doing well. If your stock and shares go down, this asset class is working for you. And then knowing things like asset allocation, diversification, regular consistent investing, all that. So really setting yourself up very well. In fact, um no matter where you are with your money, I really want people to hear this, is you're in the right place to create your wealth. And I think that's another big message as well, is people believe, like we talked at the beginning, where you're going through this divorce or I'm the single mom, like even if you start with 1% of whatever you're bringing in, because it really is a mindset shift, the wealth creation. Otherwise, years pass. Like people can be years working out, how do I bring in an income? People can be years clearing their debt, right? And they're like, oh, when I'm in a better place with my money, then I'll create my wealth and financial freedom. No, it's the other way around. Because you're either life is beautiful in that like everything's a choice, right? And the choices you make now are either leading you to your freedom or an express life, a life that's free, or it's keeping you restricted, keeping you sustained. So the choices you make, like people don't realize how. I'll give you an example from my own life. So, when I really kind of got going on my own wealth journey, it was during COVID. I just had my second baby. I parked my first business because I had all my money stuff where I was cutting my prices and wondering why I had clients engaged and married, but I was broke because of I had to work through my relationship with money. So I parked my first business. I had my second baby. I quit a job from hell. It was awful. Like awful. Couldn't wait to get out of there. It was hell. That's a whole nother story. COVID hit, everything went into lockdown, and I didn't know where my income was coming from. But what was a game changer for me, and if you really hear this and go implement from this podcast, it's going to be a game changer, is I started paying myself first. And everything worked out once I made the committed decision. Like people ask, um, I was on a podcast the other day. This lady had made multiple six figures. In fact, she had a seven-figure business. She had a team, and now she's in her late 50s and really regrets. She always felt like she was too um squished to pay herself.
Okay.
And I share this story because people think, oh, I need a lot of money to create my wealth. No, you need to just put that percentage on the side. You'd be surprised once you make that decision how the money compounds.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, I was in your financial freedom boot camp some time ago, and I started to put aside like 1%, 2%, and yeah, now my situation, um, let's say from the outside, is the same as 1 year ago,
Yeah.
but from my bank account point of view, from like my even peace of mind, it's a lot better because there is a little bit of money that I could put aside, and actually, like, I'm pleased that there is, because I was going to that place where, and I think there's a lot of people like that, they arrive at the end of the month, it even go in the red a little bit because they have maybe an overdraft they can go to, so they do use it. And but yeah, it's bad habit in the end.
At the end of the day, overdrafts and credit cards and all, they're designed by companies that makes that person rich, right?
Yeah.
Why not make yourself rich? You know? And um you said something really like one of the biggest pieces, um, like people are very like, how do I get my money to work? Like, how do I do that? How do I invest? But really, what really is core to creating your financial freedom is money management. The decision, like people don't realize that wealth is created on when the money leaves your bank account. So they're always focused on the income, the income, the income, the income, the income, the income, the income. Um, and then they're spending it and they're not thinking about, well, what's a wealthy life to me? When you start asking yourself, what's a wealthy life to me, you'll change how you operate with your money. And getting those core pieces in, like your cash safety net, your emergency fund, all that protects your wealth. Because one of the biggest mistakes people make with money is they'll rob their financial freedom because they never put in the foundation to protect the money from themselves. You have to protect the money from yourself. That's a biggie too.
So that from saying, oh, okay, I have this money aside, I may use it now because I need
Yeah.
to spend on this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And money's a bit, it's really interesting. I actually woke up this morning kind of with this sort of epiphany, which I already knew, but um when we don't plan, I was thinking about my eating habits actually, and I was thinking, I already know this from money. Why am I not doing it with my food? So when you plan your money, when you have a spending plan, you will operate much smarter with your money. When you have like a vision where I want to go with my money and you have a spending plan, like if when you don't manage money, money will manage you. If you manage money, framework gives you freedom. When you decide what you want your money to do and you're putting your money to work and you're putting in the savings and you're putting in the cash safety net, and now people might be watching this and saying, oh well, I have a mortgage which is this and I have this going on in my life and da 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 da. You get to look at that and see where the wriggle room is and who do you need to become to live that wealthy life and what that freedom is to you. So what I mean by that is um nobody starts in perfect circumstances. Okay. But if your desire to have the freedom is stronger than your circumstances, we get to figure this out. And where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. And yeah, you were talking about mindset. We have to change our mindset. And
Mm. Yeah, your relationship with money is huge to your financial freedom because I'll just share some examples from clients or what comes up for people is believing investing's risky. I don't believe I can create financial freedom so they don't even get started. When I'm in a better place with my money, when I hit 10K months, then I'll focus on my wealth. All that holds you back. So noticing what comes up for you around money, like money in its purest form is a machine that prints paper and we give it meaning related to things we grew up with or what we saw when we were young.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like if our parents were restricted with money, if our parents worried about money, you know, like you and I, we live in Europe. It will, Europe went through depressions, recessions, all that, and that mentality is still in our countries. And um, you got to break free of that. Like when you open up for capacity for more and you open up your mind, um, money, money is so much a reflection of how you see yourself, and your self-worth with money is a big one as well. So mindset, yeah, is huge to it. Yeah. Your relationship with money is such a biggie.
Yeah, yeah. For me, yeah, I had to work a lot on it, and I came up with there was security only in having a job and being independent, like being self-employed. That doesn't give security. Um, from a family where money was always restricted, and even stuff like when I would receive a gift that was a little bit expensive, my mom would say, "No, she's not going to learn the value of money if she receives something that is expensive." And I like that. That's really I had to work to change that.
Yeah. Uh, because we do play out what we tell ourselves inside. So like always expanding and shifting that. Like I remember for years, I talked in the beginning about I was a dating coach before moved into money, and um I was a broke dating coach. And it was because of my belief about myself and money, and that had to shift. And also, you know, like I shared here about paying yourself first, and the lady that had multiple six figures, it was actually a seven-figure business. She never paid herself first because people don't realize as well, more money usually means for most people, I don't know if you've ever heard of lifestyle creep. Most people get a bigger house, a bigger car, a bigger team. Oh, I'm investing in my business, a bigger mentor. Like, and it's just your behavior with money is your behavior with money, whether it's 2,000 you're bringing in per month or 200,000 you're bringing in per month. And unless you look at that, what's going on underneath, what's my beliefs, behaviors, and patterns with money, it doesn't matter about the amount. It matters about what's going on inside of you, because that's affecting whether you're creating the freedom or not for yourself.
So a person who gains more money, they yeah, they will continue to have the same behavior in for
Unless
example, yeah, for the
if you're in your overdraft at 2,000, you'll be in your overdraft at 200,000 unless you've really done the inner work to shift that.
yeah,
Because behavior, big thing about money is behavior and thinking and pattern, they're all related. And like that subconscious level of what's running the show, you do need to know what that is so that you're tweaking it to support you to create the wealth and freedom. Also, when you do have the big money, getting comfortable with bigger numbers is a big piece of it as well. Otherwise you'll blow it away. That's why lottery winners blow their money, because they're uncomfortable having money, because it's not something. So getting comfortable having money is a big piece of it too.
yeah, yeah, being comfortable, um, yeah, with a bigger bucket, like bigger container for the money. That's it. And do you think money and relationships are related? You will.
Yes, yes, yes. Like everything comes from how we view ourselves. So if a relationship's not working, or your relationship, so like if you grew up with in a family where the father was the breadwinner, you know, actually had a couple of people do exercise recently, and what came up on their exercise was, I thought a man would save me, because that's the messaging they got when they were young. So like, so yes, your relationship, if you grew up where the father was the main income earner, women can carry that, um, that doesn't get to be for me. So like, so, and then what happens is you go into a relationship, now he's the breadwinner and you're the one saying, okay, I'll quit my job and I'll stay at home with the kids or whatever. And then, so yeah, we will repeat patterns. So it really is about noticing the pattern. And I'll just share this very quickly before we wrap it up is, My biggest lesson with patterns was when I used to track men that were not very good for me. And in 2010, I hit a rock bottom. Now, when I mean rock bottom, I was getting sick, I was losing weight, I was not eating, like I just went under. And my breakthrough in that was I was repeating a pattern. The biggest fear I had is um if I get what the man I want, he would leave me and I would die. Like that's what the body does. If you have a relationship with money or love and you're struggling with that, it feels like dying to you. Like you get all the physical symptoms, anxiety and so forth. And um what happened in my rock bottom is I created the very thing I feared and I went through it and came out the other side and I let go of the fear. Obviously, I worked on myself. I went to a therapist. I worked on my relationship with my father, was related to my father, let go of the emotional charge. Um, so I always say this about money. So if you have emotional charge to money, like, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, whatever, that's running the show. So until you let go of that, so people kind of swing like this. They go from scarcity to abundance. The actual place to operate is neutral. Have money, don't have money, I'm okay inside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a synchronicity because I just posted something like that. Like that's a, if you have that belief in your subconscious that I am okay with money and I'm okay without money as well,
Yeah.
yeah, you're in that place.
Yeah, so back to the love life, just to show you, I'm with a person, we have two kids, we're together 11 years now. If he left me in the morning, I'm okay inside. He's the love of my life, but I'm okay inside because of the healing I did. It's the same with money, you gotta heal it. Um, and that's been my journey with money as well. And the best way to break through anything is go through the very thing you fear. You don't have to go to rock bottom, by the way, to do it. You can just go through it. But
Yeah, yeah,
um, so I've got to a place where I'm okay. Have money, don't have money, I'm okay inside. It's a much because a lot of financial freedom, I'll just share this very quickly, is when people chase the financial freedom, really what they're looking for is emotional freedom. So inner peace, inner security, inner safety, expressed. So yes, it's about the physical, but it's also about feeling free inside, no matter where you are with money. Just wanted to share that.
yeah, so good. And yeah, and what you were saying about hitting rock bottom, like the times I had moments like this, and I thought, oh, okay, I didn't die because that's the fear.
Yeah,
You fear
yeah,
you're going to die of that.
yeah.
And then you are on the other side. Ah, I didn't die. Okay, it wasn't so big. It wasn't so big
Yeah.
as I thought.
We make it so big in our head, but when you go through it, yeah, and you survive, you develop a muscle and a strength from an inner strength, which serves you going forward. Yeah, I think that's huge, Una.
Yeah, yeah, that's so good. And yeah, so good information. So happy. And so where can we find you? Like,
Yeah, the best way to find me is I'm on all the social media platforms, but the best, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and feel free to reach out to me, DM me, and write in wealth checklist. I can give your listeners a free gift, that will support them with their wealth journey. I think that would be a good way. Yeah. And you just look up my name. It's on the screen, Lorna Poole. There you go.
and we will have this information in the description as well. Thank you very much, Lorna. That was wonderful tips.
Very welcome. And
Yeah,
thanks for having me.
thank you. Thank you for watching or listening to the Solution Finders. Please like, subscribe, and share so we can inform and inspire more people. If you would like to donate to the podcast, the link is in the description below. All donations go towards paying for software, video editing, and production work. Please visit unamarz.com, unamarz.com, for one-to-one sessions with me to reprogram your subconscious mind, for my original origami art and printed products like t-shirts and stationery for more info about this podcast. If you made it till this point, please add your favorite emoji in the comments. Have a wonderful day.